I know that the Vic has been on hiatus for the past couple of months, and a lot of people are wondering what's up. Is this build still happening? What's the deal? It is still happening. There was a hiatus that we were somewhat forced into because Tim wanted to bring in some EV experts to see if they would be able to help expedite the build or lend a helping hand.
I haven't given up yet. Does it need a transmission? That's the big question right now.
The past 5 months have been a roller coaster in terms of strategy, of build strategy. Um, because there's more than one way to build an EV, there has been a difficulty in other people jumping into the Vic build and being able to get caught up with the specific way that the Vic is being built. That is not to say that the other people involved were not experienced or knowledgeable. That's simply to say that the Vic is not like any other build.
When we started the Vic, it was a new idea, newer. There was electric cars, of course. Making a component electric car was difficult. I'm jumping ahead here. My frustration is now they have crate motors, which is what we were looking for 4 years ago when we started this.
The choice not to include this entire process was mainly because I figured it would be boring. It was a lot of people looking at papers, looking at the Vic, talking on phone calls, and that was about it for the past couple of months.
Bodie and all of our group is now managing a new relationship with some very, very bright EV guys that are coming in to look at the car.
They're no longer involved.
The question is, can we get the engines to mate up with the transmission? Really, I don't want to give too much away because I haven't given up yet. Does it need a transmission? That's the big question right now. You'll see, we'll give some answers. When we started this, the Powerglide transmission was the way to go. Needed 2-speed transmission. They've since improved so many things.
All of it led us back to exactly where we were in February. It has been determined that Bodie is on the right track. There have been now 3 separate EV people that have all came and went over the past couple of months.
You know, those 2 guys, I finally told Brett, we gotta stop. They were getting crazy, Katie. They were redesigning everything. And Brett was like, oh, what do we do? And I said, well, we can try and call Brock. I said, why don't you try and call Brock for me? I've called him several times. And he's like, all right, give me his number. So I gave Brett his number, and then Brett called me up and says, dude, I just talked to the guy that invented this setup, engineered it, built it, has done multiple systems. No problem, he says, can you call him? And I was like, yeah, so I called the guy. He drove down here, met me and Brett. He's all CAD out, a control panel. He said, that's too small over there. I said, no, I know, I thought it was. I said, do you know an AC, electric AC compressor that we can use? I said, dude, I've already paid for 2 of them, and they're gone. The companies are gone, they're not answering. The one guy we had on the plane, or that does airplanes, that Ken was talking to, I was talking to, that guy's disappeared. He says, I got a couple that we can use. And I said, do we need to have like a AC system that cools the cab, helps cool the batteries? He says, you don't need it. So we can cancel that. Electric Power Steering, the company I was using, is no longer, they're out of business as well. I said, I paid them as well for a unit. So they're gone too, and he goes, don't worry about it, I have one. I have a system we can use. And I was like, oh, bitch, and he says it's really compact, really easy to use. And then the cooling pumps, he knows what pumps we need for the controllers, the batteries, everything. So he's gonna get all that. This guy will give him the part numbers. Brett will order it with the credit card, it'll get delivered. That way, I'm done. If Brett deals with somebody that goes out of business this time, it's his problem. That's where we're at, that's where we've come. I've changed the design on the controllers the way Tim likes it. Tim likes it, he's happy. Now we're gonna move forward from here. Everything's a go. The guy says the 2-speed transmission will work. The other guy said it wouldn't work. So we're back to everything is staying the same for the transmission. I'm gonna take that coupler, I'm gonna drill the holes, tap it, make it so I can put the set screws and paint it, and we can attach the transmission now. So we're done. He knows the pulley setup. He says what I was doing will work fine. He just says we gotta come up with some kind of tensioner, which is no problem.
We've skidded through COVID. We've skidded through people coming and going in the shop. We've skidded through me being on the road. We've skidded through me doing a movie, so I'm not been able to there to be much assistance. That aside, this is how stuff gets built. It's not like I've seen on any other clip show. This is exactly the component part of this, is that it takes time. And then I've met some experts that want to come in and see how we're doing it. And then the technology's gotten, it's moving ahead like software on a telephone. This is the weirdest thing about this. Oh, I can see you now. Oh, anyway. Oh, what am I doing? Taking my own glasses off.
So yeah, I'm gonna get started back on everything.
I appreciate all you people watching this thing. I appreciate the camera people. That would be Kate. I appreciate Bodie. I appreciate all the people involved in this. I appreciate that we do stuff like this in the middle of this, just thinking outside the box, making art forms. We're not ballet dancers, but we're damn close.